Hi, this is Eric Barstow, the co-owner of Painter Choice and the founder of Painting Business Pro. And this is the 5th video in a series of 6 videos teaching you how to grow your business, grow your revenue, grow your income, because that's what we're here for. So in the first video, we talked about kind of an overview. In the second video, we talked about production systems and how to free up your time by creating a really elegant production system so that you can spend your time growing your business with marketing and sales. Third video, we talked about marketing and sales. Where do you start? How do you start marketing to get more customers so you can do more estimates? And we talked about sales and the importance of having a high sales rate if you want to grow your business. In the fourth video, we talked about sales and specifically talked about how to improve your sales so that you can just grow your business much faster. In this video, we're going to talk about marketing. And the reason we're going to start with talking about marketing is because marketing is actually the foundation of everything. We start with leads. However many leads we get turns into how many estimates we do. How many estimates we do turns into how much we sell. And so leads is really the fundamental game changer. So if we can only get 10 leads a year, it's going to be really hard to grow the business. So we want to look into how do we go from getting 0 leads per month to 10 leads per month to 20 leads per month to 100 leads per month to 1,000 leads a month. You know, if you were getting 1,000 leads a month from great marketing sources that were profitable, you'd have a huge business. So we're going to talk, how do we start getting more leads? So we need more leads because leads drives everything. So how do we start using marketing sources? There's a ton of marketing options out there. So when you start trying marketing, it's really important that we test and we track the results that we get. So remember from the second video, or the third video, we talked about how do we measure marketing to know if it's effective. We need to measure how much money did we spend and how much money did we sell. And I said I recommend around 10% as kind of the high end. Like if I spend $1,000, I want to book at least 10 grand. If I spend $1,000 and I book less than 10 grand, I don't really like it. Some people it might be more like 15%, some 10%, some 7%. It's going to be different for every business. But fundamentally, we want to know what's the amount of money we spend for how much we get. And this we want to turn into a percentage. So imagine we have 10 different marketing sources, 1 through 10, and next to them we know how much we spend. So we've got 3%, 6%, 4%, 13%. We've got all these percentages. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to start with whatever's the best returning marketing source. That's where we want to pour the most money into, and then the next best return, and the next best return, and the next best return. So we've got to test and track things. No matter what a sales representative tells you about a marketing service, it really doesn't matter. Because what really matters is if they're a horrible salesperson, but you spend 5% on their service, who cares how bad the service sounds? If you're getting that kind of return, spend as much money on it as you can. If on the other hand, a salesperson is telling you all these great things and the service just sounds amazing and you try it out and you're spending 20% on marketing to get jobs, cancel it. It doesn't matter how good it sounds. So we need to test it, we need to track it. We have to know how much we spent and how much we sold. So how much does it take to really test a marketing service? That's a big question, is do we just get one lead? You know, we get one lead from a service to determine if it's good, or do we spend $300 before we cancel, $500, $1,000? My kind of rule of thumb is to try and spend somewhere between $500 and $1,000. And then as our company grows, we're willing to take bigger and bigger risks. So we start with the lowest risk things, like pay-per lead services are a great place to start because you can, if it's just total garbage, you could cancel right away, which is nice. You're not tied into a long-term contract. It's not a big fee up front. So that's great. So it's low risk and big return. So when you start testing, let's say we use a pay-per-lead service. I'm going to probably want to spend anywhere from, $300, $400, $500 to $1,000. I'm going to be a little more on the higher end because our company's grown, so we can afford to take a little bit more risk. But I would say you got to at least spend $300, $400 to really see what kind of return you get. Because at $300, if you book one $5,000 job from that, you're at 6%. You're looking pretty good. $300 spent for 5,000 sold. You could book that on one job. So it would be a real shame if you spent $300 and then you canceled, and then the next $50 you book 5,000. So you've got to test it enough to really know if you're going to get a good return on it. And you also have to be aware that some jobs come later. So it's just something to kind of think about. The more money you can test with, the better. But my recommendation is $300 to $500 on the very, very low end. 1,000 is a really safe number. Like if you can test 1,000, and then I start to get kind of nervous about companies who are asking me for, you know, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 when they don't provide any idea of what type of results they're going to get me. So you just be smart about kind of how you scale into that. And then once you test a service, you've got to be really rigorous about knowing how much did you spend, how much did you sell, and should I spend more money here or not? So like I said, we want to start with whatever's the best return. So if we know what returns well for us, we want to dump all of our money into that until we're getting all the juice out of it we can. And once we're squeezing out all the juice out of that service, then we can start using the next service, and then the next one, and then the next one, until you're using every service that is 10% or lower. You're using all of them. And then what we can do is, and so you'll add services as you need them. So if you only need 50 leads a month, and your best service gets you 50 leads a month, you only need to use that one service. Then when it's time to add, you need more leads, you add in a second service, and then a third, and then a fourth, and then a fifth. And you add them as needed. Once you're using kind of everything, and we've got all of our marketing options on the table, then we want to tweak to improve. So something like we're doing for that right now is we're hammering reviews. So we're spending money on all kinds of marketing this year. And we want to really just test it. We're going to test it, and then we're going to tweak it to improve it. And one really great way to do that in the painting business is to get more reviews. So this is really the outline for marketing. So again, leads is the front end of the whole funnel for the business. The amount of leads you get is the bottleneck to how many, because we can get as close to converting all the leads as we can, but we can't set up more estimates than the number of leads we get. If we get 100 leads, we can't do 120 estimates. So this is the limit. So we really want to make sure we can increase leads as we have more time, and that's really the steps. So in the next video, we're going to talk about what are some different services that you can actually use so that you can start testing a lot of these different services, because Painter Choice is one, but there's a whole lot of others too, and we'll start to cover how Painter Choice works, how some of the others work, and what are some of your options for testing different marketing sources. So that'll be in the last video, and then it's time to start growing your business. See you there.